Neon Blast. A brick-breaking puzzler? Oh yeah. But this is also a competent video game that's worth seeing through to the end, and happens to have a completely respectable platinum trophy. Essentially, you have to break every brick in each stage, matching the colors when hitting bricks, while avoiding hazards and the occasional stalemate. What makes this as enjoyable as it is consists of the thoughtful and clever stage designs, the way the difficulty rises and falls throughout, keeping the game from feeling stale, and a soundtrack which reminds me of certain moments in the Sling Blade film. Odd, I know, but totally a compliment. That's not to say this is a perfect experience. Firstly, the better you do, from what I could gather, the foggier the stages get. You have 10 lives to clear 50 levels, but you only earn an extra life every 12 stages or so. There's a continue function, but it fully wipes your score. Sometimes the action feels too slow or tedious, and you're forced to use an analog stick when this game feels perfect for the D-pad. I'd also like to have seen some bosses or something equivalent to make you feel like there's some sort of story or a goal here worth caring about besides just, hey, you should play our pretty cool little game. But overall, I quite like this title, and that's saying something because there's no trophy guide for this game that I could find, and it's something I'd rate a 5 on the difficulty scale, as well as being something that will take the absolute best players an hour and a half to obtain. But I hope that doesn't scare you away, because I've not enjoyed a trophy challenge this much in a while, and I'm no top tier gamer who gets a kick out of difficult trophy chases. There are 2 ways you can approach this. You can beat all stages in one run, while also working on the 300,000 score, or you can split them into separate playthroughs, which makes the score chase easier to complete, but does pretty much double the time to plat to around 3 hours, since the score chase likely won't pop for you until the mid-40s stage-wise. And it's the score chase which makes this a 5. You shouldn't worry much, but I'm pretty sure the high score is technically missable if you're super slow about beating stages, as your bonus for each stage ticks down the longer you take. What really saves this experience is the fact that you can retry any stage by pressing options, and restart at any time without losing a life. In fact, doing this even resets your score bonus. The other potentially missable trophy is the one for losing 10 lives, but you could mop this in the end within a few minutes. Most people will have died 10 times, however, and it's just the high score run that's going to test your skill. A tip for speed would be to attack blocks from the side as much as possible, but also play it safe since not carelessly losing lives is key here. A few stages are fiendish, and you could easily spend an hour on a scoring run just to face down starting back at the beginning if you aren't careful. And you should start at the beginning for high score chasing, by the way, since your score won't carry over from a previous completion of the game. The trophies for destroying blocks are cumulative though, for what that's worth, and mean you'll have to play through more than once anyway if you aren't dying a lot. If you dig games like Cuboid or Peggle, you're going to love this trophy chase. It took me 2.5 hours to get, and was mostly a pleasure, if a bit nerve-wracking. Plus the game is cheap, good, and fairly fun to replay. There are some missteps here, but it's a unique game with a plat that you can be proud of.